Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, welcome back. I'm popping on for a moment. How is everyone doing on this fine Sunday night? Oh my goodness. I got some really funny and interesting comments from you guys. Actually, I commented on another channel, one of my favorite channels, the Body Language Guy. And he had a topic, he was talking about one of his topics, life topics that day was talking about Elon Musk, baby mama, going woke. And he made some excellent and very humorous commentary to that. And yes, I highly recommend you checking out the Body Language Guy channel. He is about to have 1 million subscribers soon, which is just absolutely phenomenal. But I think he deserves to have at least 10 million with type of content that he puts in. But anyway, some of my subscribers saw me commenting there, and also I think some of some of my non-subscribers probably saw it there and reach out to me, was wanting to know what I think about the situation, because Jesus had mentioned me in the video. So, well, he'd mentioned my comment. He just highlighted my comment for a moment. And the topic was about men being obsessed with, well, eccentric women, not to say maybe crazy women, but why do powerful men obsess with crazy? And in general, I just would like to share a few thoughts, and everybody is welcome to contribute. Could you guys see me? I think I'm gonna add the lighting, which I don't want to do so late, but I might have to add some light. 1 second, guys. While you gather, I'm gonna actually add some light, because sometimes I have too much of a mysterious look in the dark. Oh. Okay, a little bit more light for you all to be able to see me better. Welcome, Elizabeth. Welcome, Russell. Thank you for coming, for stopping by. Happy New Year again, everybody who I haven't seen. It's insane to think that January is almost over. Well, it's the tail end. 2/3 of January had passed, so I'm wishing everyone keep the spirits up for the rest of the January and the rest of the year. And we'll continue our topics. So today we're talking about powerful men. In particular, we're going to talk about Elon Musk. You know, there is something so unsettling about, for me personally, about a man who has such wild success and claim to be conservative, but yet living the most non-conservative lifestyle when it comes to women. And again, I understand that certain rules, certain things that people in power, extremely successful people, extremely rich people can get away with, those rules, for, as we say, the rules are not written for them. So obviously, somebody as wildly 0.00001% successful can have a whole village, can probably have whole cities of women, you know. But I just find it so, I wouldn't say it's unsettling, but it just tells you that yeah, he's definitely not a traditional man, even though Elon always say how he's conservative. But I don't, he maybe is in some political views, but to me, values and political views should, it feels a lot more logical when they align. But again, who are we to judge people that can buy, yes, whole zip code or whole country? You know, it's something so far out of our reach that all we can do is just to make observations. But what I will discuss today, I want men who are following me, men who are watching me now and watched me for a while. I want you to take some notes, because even though you may not be in Elon Musk position, but you might have a reputation that you concern about, that you treasure. You might have a name, you might have certain position in your company, and it really applies to everyone. This is really a great example and a wake-up call for everyone who is, if you're type of a successful man, but you are falling for women that are really low class. Maybe they are attractive, maybe they giving you that fantasy vibes, but you are thinking that, oh, this woman, just because I'm so attracted to her, she will be a great wife, or she will be a great mother of my child. So hopefully this live will save some lives. But funny enough, usually men listen to this way after. Thank you so much, John Boy. Thank you so much for the virtual gift. I had some situations in my business, consulting men, but I was mostly consulting men who are a little bit more mature and who done well for themselves, that were considering a relationship with a Slavic woman. And a lot of times I had to warn my client, just let them know that even though this woman is very attractive and very alluring, she may or may not be the type you bring home, the type you bring into your society, the type you bring around your mother, the type you bring around your family, and the type you take to your corporate parties. Yeah. But anyway, coming back to Elon Musk, let's gossip a little bit. Welcome everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that we don't curse, we use respectful language. And one of the goals of my channel is to bring the class back. To bring the class back in our society. Hopefully I'll be able to do more lives. I'm having a bit of a limited time at the moment, but we shall see. So anyway, Russell is here. Yes. Member in the house. Elizabeth, darling, welcome. Member in the house. Jeff, hello. So what are your thoughts? Have you heard about the latest? So I'm gonna give you a little rundown if you haven't heard, but I'm sure you probably did. The little drama with the baby mom. Long story short, it looks like one of the latest, I think it's the 13th child of Elon Musk. So his mother, even though I believe she worked for the conservative organization, but I think right now she's, thank you for the heart. Thank you so much, Johnny. You always come and bless me with your attention and generosity. Thank you so much. So this latest baby mama, even though she projected herself as a conservative, she turned out to be not as conservative, and sadly, she was mentioning something about trans children, and I believe she mentioned something about potentially changing gender for their child who is only 1 year old. So I don't know much about the woman. I think her name is Ashley St. Clair. I don't know much about her. I just know that she portrayed herself before as a conservative. And I mean, that stuff is very scary. You guys know, if you've been watching me for any time or length of time, you know how concerning that is, the whole trans movement, the whole confusion for young children. and making any decision for underage children, affecting, making any transformation, that should be simply illegal. Yeah, 1-year-old child. And so Elon Musk is threatening his baby mama with taking 100% custody. And we already know who is gonna win this. We already know. If this is all true, that is insanity making such statements. Yeah, she started to make posts and leaning toward the trans and understanding the trans. And I mean, I really think a lot of people nowadays don't have a very questionable grip on reality. Very questionable grip on reality. So I I cannot even imagine as a woman. I cannot even imagine thinking about anything of sexual nature when it comes to children. I think that one of the biggest sins, one of the biggest crimes against humanity that's happening right now is that we allow um, schools and people and media sexualize our children to allow them influence and ruin our children's childhood. I want everybody to understand how devastating it is. Everybody who is here in the chat, when you were little, when you were in elementary school, you didn't even know anything about those things. You thought you were found in a cabbage, or you were brought by the big bird. I forgot the name of the bird. What is the name of the bird that brings babies in tails, right? I mean, there is something about childhood, the protection of childhood, the innocence. The innocence, the protection, it's something so pure, important, and something that will impact a person's whole life. Whole life is impacted very often with your childhood. Stork, thanks, thanks, Stan. Stork, exactly. Yes, most of us put in the chat one if you were brought by the stork or found in cabbage. According to my mom, I was found in cabbage. I was found in cabbage. So yeah, I just think it's such a crime against humanity to even having these trans talks. How come kids in the middle school and kids in intermediate and especially of course high school, how come those kids have all this alphabet? I see ones, I see twos. um kids are playing with those identities, and we see so many unhappy teenagers. One thing that I'm noticing, that so many teenagers are so messed up, but it starts in elementary school now. So if you're watching my channel, please protect your children. Please be very aware. Don't let them influence your children. Let a child be a child. It's really a crime to even, like, please tell me how you can be thinking about gender identities or sexuality of a child when they are 1 year old. So I think that woman she must be insane. And as body language guy was talking about it too, Elon Musk, yes, he's wildly successful. He's one of the most powerful people on planet Earth, but obviously he not the most handsome guy. He's not the most masculine guy. He's not the most charming guy. He's just extremely like wildly wealthy guy, one of the wealthiest on the planet Earth. So in some ways, I think he doesn't even know, but he might be a target of women. I have no doubt that for certain types of women, he's a perfect he's a perfect target. Anyway, cabbage field, yes, cabbage field. I was in love with my fourth grade teacher. Yeah, that helps. I mean, that happens. You are influenced by the beautiful people. But again, your teacher probably was very feminine and beautiful. It's normal. We are human beings. We see the beauty. And what do elementary kids and middle school kids see in their classrooms? What type of teachers? Do they see women? uh I mean, most educators are women. Do they see women, wearing beautiful classic dresses, normal hair colors, natural hair colors, classy makeup, some feminine touch to? No. They see women that lost the face of being a woman. I mean, not saying all, but I don't know, 80%, 90% teachers having blue hair and tattoos. You can't even fall in love. You don't have the inspiration to come to school because it is just such a place of it's becoming very disturbing. This is whole another topic. Of course there are great teachers in schools, but I'm just saying, I'm just telling you that most women lost the ability to lean back into their feminine, true feminine power and influence at work, not only by the book, but lead by example. For example, is inspiring young girls to become like the teacher. By the way, when I was in the fourth grade, was I in the fourth grade? No, first grade to the fourth grade, I had the most beautiful, elegant teacher, and it was a lady. She could be the next supermodel. I remember her face like it was yesterday. I remember her style. I remember how gracious she was, and yeah, she wasn't concerned about people's identity. She wasn't concerned about children's sexuality. She, as everybody then, understood that children just need some guidance, discipline, but they should be children. They should be allowed to be children, which was to be expected. And so I remember my teacher. I was just telling one of my family members a couple days ago that I remember the face, the manners, the voice. I would recognize my first grade to fourth grade. We had one teacher. It was made in such a way that you have one teacher for your elementary years. I would recognize her out of the thousands. She was just I was dreaming to be as beautiful as she was. I was dreaming about it. And of course everyone had crush on her. Every male, every boy had crush on her because she was just simply glorious, beautiful human. So, coming back to our topic, thank you for the comments and thank you for the compliments. Thank you, Shadow Racer. Thank you so much for the lovely compliment. I don't have pronouns. We are not doing that. My pronouns are stop the bullshit. Or shall I say, stop the nonsense. So, good for you. My teenage godson is a great kid. Good for you, Siren. I don't know what your name actually is, but I'm very glad for you. So, okay. So I would like to come back to the original topic, and we were going to gossip a little bit, I guess, to discuss, should we feel bad for Elon Musk and that he's, I don't know, 7th or 8th baby mama is sounds like a dangerous woman. If a woman think about anything gender, anything sexual with a 1-year-old baby, she needs to seek attention of a doctor. I mean, that is just batshit crazy. But I think that Elon Musk would really benefit if he would have an advisor before he bring before he's about to bring another baby into the world. I think he would really benefit from advisor with picking better baby mamas. If that's his way, I think that he could have done a lot better. First of all, a woman who has dignity, she does not want to be a baby mama. It doesn't matter how rich or wealthy or famous somebody is. If you are really a woman with of class, you don't want to be nobody's baby mama. And definitely you cannot be conservative. You know, just because that lady worked for TPUSA or stand her conservative views, there is no genuinely conservative woman in the world that would sign to be a secondary or third or seventh baby mama. It's just it's just a major contradiction in the values and beliefs. I don't think I don't think that a woman who is truly stands for conservative ideas would be signing to be the seventh baby mama. I don't know, maybe she's eight, I'm not sure. Thank you for the kind words, everyone. Love you. Okay, can you smile? I don't know. I smile on the conditions. Here is the thing. I don't understand that man who is so brilliant. It's not a bad thing that he has a lot of children. Don't get me wrong. When somebody is that powerful and brilliant, he probably have good genetics to spread, but you probably shouldn't call yourself a conservative, and you should be ready for consequences. You know, nobody can prevent anybody of doing. You know, we can talk about this forever. You know, we can moralize, but nobody is going to stop that. And so for men, the main the main thing, the main takeaway from this, when you are after the hot women, just remember, and women who are not kind of alternative, just remember that you will pay consequence. No matter what, you will pay the high price for that, especially if you choose to have children with that. The price would be really high. It may cost you your position, it may cost you your reputation, it may cost you many years in court if you decide to procreate. So just if that is okay for you, if you want to add another issue, then go ahead. To be honest, I don't feel bad for, I mean, you shouldn't feel bad for billionaire anyway, but I don't really feel bad for Elon Musk. I think that he had chosen that, and so, oh wow. He had chosen all these adventures, and God knows. God knows. But I just, honestly, I'm gonna look into it a little bit more, but I don't know what to think about a woman who is worrying about transgenderism when she has a 1-year-old baby. That sounds evil, demonic, dark, and absolutely insane. I mean, what? It just sounds, yeah, it sounds that she's very unstable, and I don't know, something is seriously wrong. This is the last thing. If you have children, if you ever been around children, when you have a 1-year-old baby, that's the last thing on your mind. It really is. Yeah, it's sickening. Yes, absolutely sickening. And yes, Elon Musk might have to take his baby mama takes the baby under his control, but here is the problem with this too. You know, a baby is not a balloon, it's not a soccer ball, it's not a toy. And you know, each time, you know, not only you have not ideal situation to begin with, you know, it's not like they were married and tried to make it work but didn't work out, but you started wrong. It's already a bad situation because, you know, a small child, a 1 year old, 2 year old, 5 year old, they don't care how many millions you have or billions. They care about stability and love and connection and routine. And that is already not there. You know, when you have baby mamas on the side, it's obvious that you're not living with them. So for a small child, it's already it's already an adjustment, right? It's already not ideal. But then if you want to take, if the mother gets full custody or the father gets full custody, that is an awful situation because you are just breaking the child's emotions. The child, you just, you making their life, you are traumatizing them very early, in a very early stages. And there is no replacement, you know, there is no good replacement. I mean, ideally you might have somebody helping you raising the child, but why to have all this? Why? Knowingly, you know, this is one thing when you try to do everything right and you do everything you can, but when you know ahead of time, I'm sure that that lady was a pure red flag. So is Elon with his 12 babies. Of course, again, I think that fair to say that in the world of 1% people, regular rules probably don't apply. But we are talking about it to make notes for our lives and to remember that each time we are compromising on logic, each time we're not using logic, each time we are compromising, it's an open door for it's really an open door for disaster. And you don't have to be 1% top 1% man to lose your position, to lose your reputation, to have a terrible family situation. Because it's interesting, because a lot of times children of the most wealthy and most powerful are the most traumatized as well. So what do you guys think? I think I've said this already. I've said most of the things I wanted to say. Let me read some of your comments. Thank you so much for the compliments. I really appreciate you. Uh, I'm blushing. Thank you for the um, kind words and your good taste, obviously. That's evil. That lady is crazy. Yeah, I don't think, like, I'm not sure what to think of that. And she seemed to be taking pride in her trans in her trans empathizing to trans people and warning about all this. I don't even know what to say. I mean, why? Like, what is this about? Thank you, Rosie. That's messed up at the very least, yes. That poor little 1 year old would lose the chance at the normal life. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, if you think, you know, if you think that, you know, removing a child from a mother, I mean, that's very complex. We are not psychiatrists here. We are not, you know, we're not judging in terms of, you know, but yeah, it's just a devastating situation. You know, I was thinking the other day that Our society just, we always talk about needing good fathers, but we also really, really need good mothers, good mother role model, because a lot of children, even if they have mother, the mothers are so separated from their femininity, from their feminine nature, from themselves, that a lot of children, they really raised nowadays by iPads and computers and all of that. It's really so, so, so very sad. Adam is saying, I'm a single father of two daughters. I hope that you are doing an amazing job. I'm sorry to hear that, but raising daughters, if you're doing it right, it can be very rewarding in the end. I hope that you having somebody to help you. I hope they have some feminine influence. It's very important, but um, I'm sure that it will be rewarding in the end. I mean, it's always rewarding when it's your own children, right? Somebody asking me, are you incredibly wealthy? Oh my gosh. What a question. Just curious. No, there is no just curious. It makes me sick. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Jim, welcome. All right. I wish I were like my mother. She was wonderful. My mother did help me. She passed away. Yeah, sorry to hear that. It's a circle of life, as they say. Justin says she's a millionaire. Yeah. You should never worry about what a woman have. I tell you that. Because even if a lady that you meet is a millionaire, you are still a provider. So hope dies there. I would never take care financially of a man, ever. Ever. The only exception is if that was a man who took care of me for decades and then he needed help, then I would just use whatever he gave me. I have this joke about being loyal, and that is if a woman was a man is with a man for many years, and God forbid this man was a provider, a wonderful husband, God forbid he gotten sick or he lost some of his wealth, a good woman will sell everything he gave her to help him get on his feet. But she would sell it, whatever he had given to her, to take care of him. But if he gave her nothing in all the years, then oh well, oh well. There would be no gifts to sell, no gold to pawn. If you were the type of man that just give your words and never invested, never bought anything, never um, done what you're supposed to do, then oh well. Somebody says she has nothing to sell. Yeah, if the woman has nothing to sell, if you've never, you've never got her anything of value, never got her a nice, I mean, if you have never got anything of value, she has nothing to sell, exactly. Of course, it's a joke, but I mean, it's not a joke. It's just, just a theory. It's like, no, of course there is loyalty. When you've been with somebody for decade, 2 or 3, there is loyalty. There are beautiful things that happen, but well, what can I tell you? If you If you have never paid the way, there would be nothing to get back. A good woman brings out the best in a man. Exactly. A good woman brings the best in a man, and the man brings the best out of his capacities. Um, Slavic women are incredible. Yes, in many ways, I've never really thought about that. In many ways, I think so now. I never thought about it when I was living back home. Some of you don't know, but you can read about my channel in the description. I'm originally from Kiev, Ukraine, and I've been living here for a long time now, for a long time, for a really long time now, almost to two decades, not quite, but close. 17 years, 18 maybe, soon 18. And when I was living still in Ukraine, I studied there, and I never saw that anything particularly special about Slavic women. I would be like, what? I saw that every woman is like this. Every woman in the world is the same. Nurturing, caring, educated, ambitious, but yet very, very feminine. I just thought it's normal. It was normal to put your best forward, foot forward. It's normal to put yourself together every day. It's normal to take pride in your appearance. It's normal to take pride in your beauty. It's normal to maintain your beauty. It's normal to want the best for your children. It's normal to make your own food and not rely on fast food and feed your children absolute garbage like they do unfortunately here in US. So many women just would rather just give them some slop from fast food places. I cannot imagine that. So I never saw anything special, but when I started living here, I started to understand why Slavic women were so highly sought after. But don't get me wrong, Slavic women aren't no pushovers either. Don't get me wrong on that one. There is no pushover. There is no BSing. Yeah, there is no. Don't think you get yourself a slave or a servant. Slavic women know what they want, and they're not taking any less. I don't think that Slavic women want to be called tough, John, but I know what you mean. We just take pride in what we do. I take pride. I don't care if nobody's seeing this, but I take pride in doing certain things that I do with my hands. For example, I can't afford or I can accept. I love going out to dinner. I love enjoying some things, but I love staying home and making home meal better than the restaurant meal. I like making the coziness. Oh, thank you for the gift, the 11. Thank you for another gift. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you, the one, the none. Thank you so much. Yes, I think that our power is into creating the nurturing atmosphere. Of course, we're a human being, and we can't really describe everyone with the same characteristics, but most people are very demanding to themselves. We want to bring the best uh, for our children. We want to bring the best for ourselves, and that means the importance of all the things, such as every daily little thing, even such as kids breakfast. I don't understand how you can literally give your child a bunch of sugar for breakfast and consider yourself a great mother. I cannot imagine giving a child a donut for breakfast or giving a child cereal made out of sugar for breakfast and hoping that this would be a healthy child. So yeah, We are very, very proper, but we have high demands. A lot of men tell us that we want princess treatment and we have high demands, and that is true. That is true. We know who we are. I need to make a whole new series on Slavic women. We don't take the crumbs. We are very we have pretty high self-worth, and we are not settling, we are not excited for the crumbs or for men who put no effort. Men with low effort are not not to be considered. We don't compromise our standards. I'm saying we, as of course a generalization, of course, you have to understand it's generalization. A lot of you have been asking me to start doing videos again about Slavic culture, Slavic women. So I guess, Elon, we are down with you. You do like crazy women, okay, fine. We talked about Elon Musk in the beginning and his addiction with crazy women. Oh, thank you for the brush. Thank you for the heart. Let's see who sent the makeup brush. But by the way, I need some new makeup brushes. I love brushes. They look so glamorous, you know, like you are in the 1940s, you know, 1920s. I need some new brushes. Thank you for the brush, for the virtual one. Thank you, John Boy. And thank you, Mikey, for the heart. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You guys don't know, but these gifts, they really help to push the stream forward. And yeah, it helps a lot. I look at my statistics on the channel. All your interactions actually matter. So thank you, everybody. But the virtual gifts really helps the stream. Slovakian queen. I'm not from Slovakia, but you probably want to have Slavic queen, yes. Sorry guys, I wish I would have a better lighting, but it's late and I don't want to have a light in my face right now because yeah, I won't be able to rest properly. So yeah, feel free to ask some questions. Do you have some thoughts? Do you have some concerns? Oh, we have a snow cleaning machine. Nice. Yeah, you know, I'm just amazed at parents and mothers, you know, how not to give your child a proper meal to school, how not to get up and, you know, make like a hot porridge, you know, some eggs, some protein, some, I don't know, some good omelette, you know, some things that can hold your kids through the day. uh, I am amazed on how many people just give their children like donuts or cereal and oh, it's healthy. Make some research. It's not healthy. They're just gonna have a sugar crash, be addicted to sugars. They don't have a good energy, and it's cold outside, and you're giving that cold cereal. Like you can put a little bit more effort as a mother and a father too. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the time if a woman is married to a provider man that takes 100% of everything. Yes, it makes sense if the breakfast is on the mother. But ladies, if you're watching me right now, you have a little son or little daughter and you're giving them sugar for breakfast, stop doing that. Give them the real food, something substantial, something that will hold them, something that will give them great habits for the future, especially in America when you find sugar even in the sausage. Rice Krispies, no, don't give them that. I didn't know they need to be. Ron Hunt is saying, I know they should do videos on how to feed our kids and family. This is insane. But yes, people don't know this. I don't know how you cannot know this. But if you know, sometimes when I stand in the grocery line, you know, when you stay in the line, you have your stuff, you're waiting for a cashier to cash out, and you see the type of stuff people have in their carts, it just blows your mind. It's just like all this packaged, you know, fake. It's not, it's dead. There is no nutrients in that food. And it's not cheap. I mean, some of that is cheap, but it ends up being so expensive. You know, I can't believe that. Just pay attention on people's cards. I don't want to pay attention, but when somebody right in front of you, you see all that garbage. You see that people just feed their children garbage. It's insane. So yes, I think the Slavic women, we have overall we have higher standards. I didn't know that was a higher standard, but we do. You know, you can think it's a little thing, but it's not, because your child develops, their health is forming, their habits are forming, their future. And we have so many children that are so grossly overweight. When remember yourself when you were a kid, about this big around, you know, running around covered in mud. It's not normal for children weighing more than adults. You know, try to go to middle school or high school. You know, most kids would be 3 sizes larger. I mean, or 3 times larger sometimes. Yes, ladies, I'm telling you, and men too. You know, when as a man you know how to cook, you uncover um the secret of seduction. You know, a man who can cook. Cooking is a survival instinct. It's a must. Your forehead is 3 times larger. My forehead must contain all that intelligence and all that brain. So yes, I'm gonna keep it as it is. My brain needs space, if you know what I mean. All that knowledge requires space. You know, the smaller your forehead is, the closer you are to the monkey. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know you're worried, but it's very hard to be attractive when you have very small forehead. So I'm sure they can enlarge yours, dear viewer. Maybe not only forehead you need to enlarge. Now when I think about it. What do you do with knowledge? I apply it for my life and I help others. All right, let's see if you have any valuable comment. Lamb is good. I love lamb, but you need to know how to cook it. Most people here don't know how to cook it. Okay. Okay, somebody cook. Scott Baker says I'd cook for you. Okay. I can cook, but I prefer not to. Well, you know, we all prefer to be served, but there is a reality, you know, not everyone is Elon Musk, you know, not everyone has servants. And therefore, if you say that you want to have children and family, no matter if you're a man or a woman, you need to know how to cook. You need to know how to take care of your family. You know, your wife might be a homemaker, but there are days when she might be tired. There are days when you want to do something. I think I mean, it's so easy. It's just amazing. You know, when I drive, sometimes I drive later at night, I see these long lines to all these fast food chains, you know, and I'm like, I cannot imagine, you know, for a Slavic woman, this is not dinner. If you bring bunch of fast food home, that's not dinner. The only time when it could be what's like somewhat okay if you're dying, you know, or you're on the road and everything is closed and you're somewhere stuck between the states. You are trying to evade me. Yeah, you under my control. Yes, of course, I'm under your control. Exactly. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Keep your commands for your mother, okay? I'm sure she'll love that. Oh, how beautiful. I love that, Kelly. Kelly is saying, I'm a single father of three. All now are adults. I cook the hot breakfast every morning for them. Yes, I mean, it feels so good when you make a hot breakfast for your child or children. There is something about it. It's actually so rewarding. It's such a beautiful feeling when you can spend time with your child, nurture your child, give them a hot breakfast, especially if you live in a colder climate or you have winters. There is something so special about it. I don't know. It's very satisfying. You know, we have the saying in Ukraine, it is happiness when you have someone to feed and something to feed them with. It's a very simple happiness, but it's true. It's true. It's such a beautiful thing. And the thing is, you know, what you do with for your children and with your children, they will do with their children, most likely, right? Most likely. You know, not always at 100%, but most likely. Wait, I'm sorry. Trying to adjust this. Um, let's see, how much time do I have? Okay, we have a few more minutes, my dear friends. Uh, yes, okay. Richard Furlat. Hello, Richard. Veronica, I'm a fan. What do you do for a professional? What do you need? Maybe I don't do anything. Maybe I just talk to people. Why do I need to be doing something? I talk to people and makes their life better. How about that for a professional? You drinking Bacardi? No, I'm drinking water. It's just a glass. It's like antique glass. It's so beautiful. I wish I was. No, actually, I don't wish. I don't need it. Um, it was just water, but it's such a beautiful color. I don't like plain things. If you didn't notice, if that needs to be made public. Yeah, I don't remember the year of this, but I don't know if you can see it. It's like dark burgundy color. I love it. I love ice cream, like some desserts in this, but today it's my drinking glass. Uh, Привет, Громосека. Здравствуйте. Your makeup is on point tonight. Thank you, Sir G1. I appreciate it. Okay. Thank you. I'm already comforted. Don't worry about it. Yeah. I had a chance to meet you tonight. I mean, you know, there is always a chance, right? There is always a chance. You know, one of a million. Hey Rocky, welcome. Great to see you. How are you? Kazakhstan, привет. Merhaba. Who is Elon Musk? Kelly is saying, thank you so much for validating the value of simple skills to provide for the family. Cooking equals love for your family, your wife, your husband, and your children. You are very welcome. And it's, you know, nowadays in this reality, that is actually something to be acknowledged. That is so important. I didn't know that it was such a rare thing. You know, I had a conversation about this some time ago, and I was sharing with a very close friend of mine about that, you know, when you cook for your family, you know, simple things like, you know, cook, you know, organizing something, you literally expressing your love. It's like, you know, you have an idea what you want to do, you know, you cut it, you cook it, you create it, you boil it, you bake it, like you literally put your love from your heart through your hands, through the, you know, creative process, and you do, whether it's something very simple or something kind of elaborate, but it made with love. This is literally women who maybe wealthy enough, or families who are wealthy enough that they never cook, they always order. they miss out on one of very fundamental connection. It's labor of love, simply. When you cook, or we're talking about cooking right now. It's cold now where I live, so when you make a hot meal, it's warming your soul. It's not just means to fill up your stomach. It's nurtures you, it warms you, it make you feel loved. I think that parents who cook for their children have a lot more connection with their children. It's a really beautiful thing, and especially in this world when we have all these options, it feels like, why to shop, why to then prepare, or some people have their own food that they grow, or meat sources, which is nice when you can have that. And you go through all this process. It's because you go through all this process. First of all, in America, you kind of should do this because of how unless you go to the finest places all the time, most of food is very processed. You don't know what they add to it. You don't know how fresh it is. Most people cannot afford to eat at finest places every day. So yeah, it's really is a labor of love. And if you want to keep your kids healthy, if you don't want them to be, I'm sorry, to have a lot of health issues early in their childhood, you kind of supposed to do this, but yes, I absolutely think it's a labor of love, just like everything else, like reading to your children, like playing with them, actual games, not video games. Oh, don't get me started. Like, it is so important. And it's such a short time, it is such a short time that we have with children. Such a short time. And you can't take a day back, a month back, a week back. It's so precious. So yeah, I think it's one of the most satisfying things. Yeah, we have some snow too, but I hope it snows tomorrow, but I don't know. Hey Sherry, hello darling. Thank you for watching the chat as well, joining us. Okay. Why do the males that try for attention from Veronica have no risk? Oh my gosh. You sound like somebody I know. At least they are trying, Rocky. At least they are trying, At least they're practicing. Wait. Yeah, I like hearing about my somebody says I like your accent. Some people write this about fake accent. It's like, yes, it's very fake. I practice every day. Serbian, Romanian, Slovakian. Yeah, so anyway, good food and a glass of wine. Yes, sometimes, don't get me wrong, it is so beautiful when you take your wife, your lady out, and you have a romantic night. Maybe you are creating the atmosphere, or you're taking her out. I'm not against this, that's obviously a very pleasurable experience, and people should date, should go out, and it's nice to be served, it's nice to enjoy things. But we are talking about everyday lives and how important it is to take care of your loved ones. I love how we went from talking about questionable choice of Elon Musk to more traditional dynamics, and led us to Slavic women. Yeah, that's beautiful. I love it, Nico. I taught my girls how to cook breakfast. They would be up before I came home from work in the morning. Yes, very nice. Yeah, that's another thing. You can teach your kids how to make breakfast. You can also pre-make things. The only thing they need if they are old enough just to heat it up. I mean, you got to give your kids real food. That's one of the things in America, that people just fast and cheap, and it's insane. It's not the way. Hello, somebody came from another stream. Welcome, Mark. I'm sorry, your names, guys. James says you are lovely young ladies. Thank you, James. I appreciate it. I hope you will come back. Um, haha. Nonsense. I'm an American and I brought my fish last night. It was great seasoning. Perfect timing. Good for you. Boiled. It's okay. Alright. Should people trust what is called food a restaurant? I don't know. You know, it's funny because in my mind, I only call the restaurant is a high level restaurant. You know, when they're trying to do better. You know, like, you know, just a nicer, finer restaurants. I don't call fast food restaurant. It's maybe because it's just a different in the words, in the vocabulary or mentality. I don't know, but I don't call a restaurant. Man, I'm getting hungry. You better stop. But it's too late now. It's 10:30 here. We're about to have some tea together, but I think I have still a couple more minutes. The first lady of United States is a Slavic, and she's the best first lady we ever have. Yes, she's definitely a class act. I agree with you. By the way, I wanna go watch a movie. There's gonna be a movie. It's coming, I think, January 30th, I believe. It's called Melania. She's playing in the movie. I would love to watch that movie. I haven't been in a cinema for so long. I would love to go and watch a movie. People don't sit at the table and talk no more. Yeah, you know, some people don't, but I hope that those of you guys who watch me, you know, you think you have problems in relationships, but the thing is, you just don't spend enough time just talking, you know, with no phones. Like, I'm streaming right now, but when I'm at the table, I'm with my friends. I am never on my phone. You probably noticed I haven't been live. I mean, those of you who watch me consistently, I haven't been live for like probably 3-4 days. Because of that reason, you have to give yourself breaks and be present in reality. But yes, that's something that I've never changed for me since I came from Ukraine, which has been 17, 18 years almost. We always have special time and no phones at the dinner table. And you know, honestly, when I eat, I like to eat while things are hot, but you know, I like to have then tea or some, you know, refreshing drink or coffee or whatever, and talk, you know. And yeah, spending quality time is so important. Nothing replaces it, really nothing. I think that undivided attention type of time is one of the most precious things. When you give somebody undivided attention, it's so rare. Thank you, James. You're so sweet. He says you have the most beautiful eyes. Thank you, James. You guys are so sweet. You glazing me with some beautiful comments. My girls never had cold cereal. Good for you, Nico. They had to cook sausage, eggs, oatmeal, cream of wheat, pancakes. Yeah, some real food. Some real food. So important. Mimi is saying it is art of communication. Yes. You know, we all struggle with some things. We all have our, you know, strong points and not so, but something that we can all afford is make time and talk and communicate. And just sometimes it's not even the words, sometimes it's just presence. It's just presence, especially with children. A lot of people believe that children will grow up somehow. They give, you know, they give so little time and attention to their children, and then they wonder while the children have no connection with them.
Dinner is served.
Okay, I will be there.
Ready when you are.
Perfect. All right, my beautiful friends. What was I what I was just what I was just saying? We finally have to cut it short. Not really short, it's over an hour. So thank you everybody. I have to follow the guidance and I have to go. Thank you so much for everyone joining. Um my kids would do better if there is a family night once a week. That is why my family did when I grew up. Yes, I know. Play board games. Yes, I know. We all need family. Yes. You know, you don't always have. Well, you know, the thing is, I'm learning now that it's important, not only now, but I'm understanding now the importance of having circles. You know, we don't have perfect circumstance for everything, but it's in our hands if we have a very small family to create a bigger family, such as, you know, circle of very close friends. And that's something that, wait, sorry, that was scary. It's actually a clip, not an earring. Um, thank you for subscribing. Yes, it's something that, you know, you can't always have it. You know, you can't create it overnight, but when you're intentional, you can actually create and yes, have those social nights when you play chess, when you do all these things. But anyway, I gotta go, my beautiful friends, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your comments. I really appreciate you all. Yes, I have to. You guys heard that? Oh my gosh, I gotta go. I gotta go. Warm hug to everybody from Michigan with love. And I will see you very soon. Write me comments, ideas, questions. You can find my information in the description of the video. Yes, family is the most important thing. Creating a family is just as important if you were not blessed with one. So we need that. We need the real connection so we can slowly but surely rebuild the craziness of society, allow our kids being kids. And yes, so we can all unite and support those people that need help. You know, it used to be like this. People used to care about each other. People used to uh, look out for people in their communities, and we need that. I will cut back with my chatter because I want to come see your live streams without being a bother. You're all right. You're all right. Just understand I can't read all the comments, but I gotta go now. If I haven't read an important comment, write it under the video and consider subscribing so you can see more of my live streams. Much love. We'll see you very soon. Thank you for stopping by. And yes, if you want to meet a beautiful Slavic lady and you need somebody to help you, guide you, reach out to me. You can find my information in the description of the video. See you very soon. Thank you.